Zelensky is on pins and needles since Benjamin Netanyahu won the Israeli elections. Although there is no possibility of success, he is attempting to persuade Israel to support Ukraine. Zelensky is ready to take anything that comes as help from anywhere. But as they say, a drowning man will clutch even at a straw. So will Netanyahu give heed to Zelensky's request? Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI media group. I'm your host Atul Mishra. Let's begin. As soon as news reports of Netanyahu winning Israeli elections started pouring in, the Ukrainian president Volodymyr Zelensky jumped onto Twitter and was among the first leaders to congratulate Netanyahu. He tweeted, "Congratulations to Netanyahu on winning the elections. It's always important to see real democracy in action." Well, that's how much you would expect, but that was not all. The tweet continued, "Ukraine and Israel share common values and challenges that now require effective cooperation. We hope to open a new page in cooperation with the new Israel government for Ukraine and Israel benefit." It is difficult to comprehend what common values Zelensky is referring to. The neo-Nazis, the Azov battalion, and their crimes against Jews are well documented in the history. And what cooperation is Zelensky administration seeking? Well, it's not a secret anymore. The pleading for weapons and more weapons. Well, a tweet wasn't enough. Zelensky even called Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday to congratulate him and once again pleaded for cooperation. Israel's longtime enemy, Iran, has been accused by Zelensky of giving Russia the military drones to attack Ukraine. Earlier, Israel's outgoing Prime Minister Yair Lapid rejected Ukraine's pleas for military assistance, and Zelensky is now expecting that under Netanyahu's more aggressive leadership, Ukraine and Israel might find common ground. Zelensky, in conversation with Netanyahu, said, "I think it is clear to everyone what Ukraine emphasizes and what security emphasis Israel makes." Zelensky, without naming Iran, mentioned, "I believe that we can significantly strengthen our states, especially since the threats to us are related." This wasn't the first time Zelensky urged the Israeli government for military aid. Zelensky had earlier specifically mentioned Israel's well-known Iron Dome anti-missile defense system, which is built to intercept and kill short-range rockets and artillery thrown into populated areas. Ukrainian officials have been pleading with the Israeli administration for the Iron Dome since the war started, but in vain. Israel has trodden a diplomatic fine line during the conflict in Ukraine, sending humanitarian aid for Kiev while taking care not to enrage or antagonize Moscow at the same time. Netanyahu has had a hostile relationship with the Democrats of the US. It's wild of Zelensky to assume that Netanyahu would support USA's line of flooding Ukraine with weapons against Russia. Further, Netanyahu and Putin's bonhomie is also well known. Israel won't like to antagonize Russia, which has control over the airspace above its neighbor Syria and has let the Israeli Air Force conduct strikes on targets linked to Iran. Just 2 weeks earlier, Netanyahu emphasized the same. Our Russian and Israeli air forces are flying side by side over the skies of Syria. As Prime Minister, wanted to assure the freedom of action of the Israeli Air Force to basically pummel Iran's military positions that they try to establish in Syria to open a second terror front against us. Thank God we have been successful in doing that. As Russia's retaliation grows day by day, Zelensky's pleading is understood as he has ants in his pants. But Netanyahu has made a decision. He won't be fooled by Zelensky's ulterior motives and won't fuel the war like Americans and the West.